I'm about to talk with you tonight about eating for fat loss, focus, and energy. So thanks for joining me. I'm going to give it just a minute or so for others to jump on. I'm on Facebook and Instagram tonight. So hi, as you're joining me, tell me hi. Hey, Sean, I see you there. Hey, Sean. Hi, Maria. I'm on Facebook and Instagram right now. So sorry if my eyes are back and forth. I want to chat with both of you. If you are joining me, talk to me, tell me your name, tell me where you're chiming in from, tell me your age, tell me anything that I should know about you right now. But we're gonna be talking fat loss and especially about what to be eating and adding in, because it's always good to talk about what to add in versus what we need to take out. So thanks for joining me. For those of you new to my page, I'm Natalie Jill. I kill fat for a living. And I say that because it's not just the fat on our bodies, although I totally help you with that, but I also help you with something I call false assumed truth, which those of you who have joined in on my lives before, you know exactly what that is. A false assumed truth is any time we're holding a belief that's not serving us, that's holding us back from our goals. And that's very real, especially as women as we age. I also like to share that I'm 49 years old. So let me know your age too. And I share that because there's a lot of stories in our society about aging and what it means and what it shouldn't mean. So I like to break through that. So let me know when you're jumping on. Also, hi Rhonda from Arkansas, 55, I see you there. Hi Lynn, yes, Lynn, you just signed up for Total Body Thrive, amazing, can't wait to work with you. Hey Lisa, 51, Anna, 47. I love when I see you all close in my age. I love that because although I can help people of all ages, since I am a 49-year-old female, I love when I see that I'm attracting women in their 40s, 50s, and beyond. Because I want you to know if you are them, that you are not too old and it is not too late. Hi, Jenny. Hi, Siobhan. Hi, Colleen. So tonight what I'm gonna talk about is eating specifically for fat loss, focus, and energy. So if you know this topic is of interest to you, you're gonna wanna tune in, grab a piece of paper, a pen so you can take notes, and please share this episode. Share, ping a friend, ping a coworker if you know they'll be interested in this. In addition to teaching some of these points with you, I'm going to also be answering any questions that I see. So feel free to ask me any questions. And I'm also going to be sharing an opportunity with you that starts Monday that some of you might be a candidate for. Let's see. Hi, Letty, 55 in Texas. Awesome. Hi, Maria, 49 from Canada. Cool. Lots of you in your 40s and 50s watching. This is great. Hi, Mary. Okay, I'm gonna jump right into it. So I'm gonna talk about eating for fat loss, focus, and energy. And I've got some very specific things that I want you to start looking at. So I'm a huge fan of focusing on what we can add in more of, because what's wrong in the diet industry, what's very wrong, is so much of it is focused on deprivation. All the things we shouldn't do, can't have, and what that does is that sets us up for failure. As soon as we're told we can't have something or we can't eat something that we're used to, or when we absolutely love something and we're told you cannot have that anymore, even if in our core we know it's not ideal for us, what we do is we start focusing on what we can't have and we start craving it more. You know what I'm talking about? Is that you? That's definitely me. When I'm told you cannot have something, I start obsessing. I want it more. So I don't love that approach. Now, I think it's important to understand why certain foods do certain things and why certain foods are better than others, but telling you something is never, never, never okay is not ideal. So I'm gonna talk specifically about what to add in, because when you add in more of the good things, you make less room for the bad. This is key. Do you remember when you were a kid? Everyone remembers when they were a kid and they wanted dessert for dinner. And you're not normal if you didn't. I definitely was that kid that wanted dessert for dinner. And my mom would say to me, eat your dinner first and then you can have dessert, right? So she never said you can't have dessert. It was eat your dinner first and then you can have dessert. I take that same route with fat loss. Let's get more of the good in first, which makes less room for the not so good. And then if you still want those things, you can add them in. So that's what I'm going to talk about. So let's get out of our mind that we can't have certain things. And instead, let's focus on what's great for you when it comes to fat loss. All right, number one, it's in a category, but it's unprocessed natural foods. Now, what's an unprocessed natural food? An unprocessed natural food is anything that once grew. So it came from earth that once grew. So think fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, avocado, lean proteins, think fish, chicken, turkey. All of that is food that once grew. Now, before you add anything to it and you put it in a package or a box and add ingredients that we can't pronounce, it's an unprocessed natural food. And if you were to eat primarily those foods, you would see your body change. That simple rule alone, believe it or not. Now, the reason I say focus on adding in more of the good is when you fill up on those great, wholesome, nutritious, natural foods, things that once grew, you make less room for the other things. So you're less likely to eat the other crazy thing that you think you've been craving. And if you do eat it, you're gonna eat a lot less of it. So unprocessed, natural, real foods first. That's my number one first rule. Now, does that mean you can put spices, whatever? Of course you can. What that means is you're staying away from boxes, packaged foods that have ingredients that you can't pronounce. Now, what happens in the diet industry a lot is you see these extreme plans. And what that doesn't allow for is what I'm talking about here. And most of you listening, you're still in that stage of, I want general fat loss. I need to help get myself to a healthy place. So this rule would serve you really well if you start looking at how can I add in more of the natural, real, unprocessed foods. That rule would serve you well. Okay? The next thing I want you to focus on within that is how can you get in more vegetables? Now, I say that specifically because vegetables have the V factor. The V factor is they have volume, they fill you up, okay? They have volume and they add a lot of value. A lot of antioxidants, a lot of nutrients. When you eat something that grew from our earth, vegetables, fruits, they are very healing. They help with inflammation. They help with hunger. They help with making you feel satisfied. They help with healing, all of the things. So how can you get in more vegetables? The other benefit of vegetables is they're water-based. So they actually keep you more hydrated. They also have fiber, keep you more full. So an example of how you take that addition rule, let's say you want to have a pizza. You're like, I'm having pizza tonight for dinner. That's what I've been thinking about all day. If you were to just go grab that pizza and you're hungry and have been thinking about it all day, you'd probably eat a lot of the pizza. If I did that and I was hungry, I'd probably eat half of it. But if you take my approach of how do we add in more of the good first, we would eat a big salad first. Maybe we'd eat some steamed vegetables. And maybe on our pizza, we would have lots of vegetables on it. So what happens is you're eating the salad, you're eating the vegetables, and now you're likely to have one slice of pizza instead of eating half the pie. Seems pretty simple, right? But it's not to most people. And that's why I'm pointing this out. So rule number one, unprocess your diet. How can we add more healthy, natural, real, unprocessed foods? Rule number two, how do we add in more of the vegetables, the V's? Volume. How do we get that in? How do we add in more of the vegetables everywhere? The next thing, super simple, hydrate. I carry this around with me everywhere. It has a straw. In fact, little sneaky trick, I'm messing up my words here. Little sneaky trick. If you take a water bottle and there's a straw in it, you're gonna drink a lot more of it. Now, why do I point out water? Everyone talks about water, but let me actually explain to you. Most of us, believe it or not, are walking around chronically dehydrated. It's true. And how that shows up is I'm hungry, I'm cranky, I'm foggy-headed, I can't focus. We think it's all those things, but a lot of what that is just hydration. So just by adding in more water, you're going to feel better. The other thing that water does, adding in more water, just like that early addition rule, it makes less room for the bad. The more hydrated you are, the less you're gonna eat of the other stuff, so it keeps you full longer. So water, critical. A lot of the symptoms that we think it's because we want sugar or fat or something else, it's actually water that our body is telling us that we want. And then my little trick, use one with a straw. You'll be amazed how much you actually drink when it has a straw in it. Okay, now earlier I talked about adding in more of the good, makes less room for the bad. There is one food, one thing specifically, because it's not really a food. If you're going to eliminate anything, I would say do this first. And I'm gonna bring this one up as a critical one because so many people are following plans that include this in it, and it is so dangerous when it comes to fat loss, focus, and energy. And that's artificial sweeteners. So when you're drinking Crystal Light, when you're drinking diet soda, when you're chewing sugar-free gum, this is detrimental to your goals. Why? There's a whole list of reasons, but I'm gonna give you the two big main ones. Main reason number one that there's a huge problem with artificial sweeteners is when you eat artificial sweeteners, like let's say you have a diet soda and you're having 0 calories or whatever it is, and you're like, oh, this is good. It's gonna help me stay full and I'm not gonna eat. Wrong. What it does is your body thinks it's actually getting those calories, but you're not. So you'll actually up level your cravings. You start to crave more, believe it or not, because your body thought it was getting the calories, it wasn't. And now you go into a vicious cycle of more cravings. What? It's true. It's true. So huge reason. The other huge thing with artificial sweeteners, besides a number of health issues that can go with artificial sweeteners I'm not even gonna get into right now, including like migraines, all types of things, is that they bloat you. They absolutely bloat you. So when you're bloated, you feel more off track and yucky and all the things. And when we feel more off track, we make worse decisions for things. So if there's anything to eliminate, I would eliminate that first. That's the first thing to eliminate. Okay, you learned that about diet drinks? Yes, Valerie. So it's amazing how many people aren't aware of that with artificial sweeteners. They think they're doing a good thing, like going sugar-free. But true sugar-free that works would be just not having sugar. When you replace it with artificial sweeteners, you run into that problem, and it's a big, real issue. Okay, so just to recap, those of you that are joining, I wanted to focus today on what do we need to add in to make less room for the bad and to have better results so you can have lasting fat loss, energy, and focus. The number one thing I brought up was unprocess your diet. Focus on that first. How do I add in more of the good, natural, real, unprocessed foods? 2, how do I hydrate more? Get more water in. Most of us are chronically dehydrated. Adding in more water helps us with focus, with energy, with craving control, all the things, even keeps us full longer. So adding in more water. If you're going to eliminate something first, artificial sweeteners, they have to go. Huge detriment to our diet when we're doing that. Okay, so the question that you might be thinking is, well, if I eliminate artificial sweeteners and I'm eating unprocessed foods and I'm drinking more water, what do I do when I have cravings, right? That might be the question that comes up next. Like, well, what do I do if I have cravings? Well, here's what I want to share with you. When you eat unprocessed natural foods and you're not eliminating whole categories, like you're not eliminating all carbs or all protein or all fats, when you're balancing your meals, those cravings dissipate. What cravings come from are 2 major things. 1, artificial sweeteners, for the reason I just shared. Huge thing. Really will increase your cravings. The second thing, when you eat an unbalanced diet, meaning let's say you eat too many starchy carbs and you're not eating fat and protein with it, what happens is your body secretes insulin to counter that. It drops your blood sugar and then you crave more. Now you're hungry for more and you create this cycle of higher blood sugar, lower blood sugar, higher blood sugar, lower. How do we stop that? We stop how fast carbs are hitting our bloodstream by balancing it with protein and fat. When you take a high starch meal and you eat less of it and you balance it with protein and fat, you counter cravings. If you don't believe me, do a little experiment on yourself. If for tomorrow morning for breakfast, you could try this for 2 days. Day 1, I want you to eat this, what I'm gonna describe, and then day 2, eat the other thing, and you'll see how different you feel. So day 1, if you were to have, let's say a bagel and orange juice and a banana. Sounds healthy, right? You'll be starving after. When you do that, it's all starches and sugar. And when you do that, you'll have that exact response I'm talking about, and you will be very hungry within an hour. And that's why when you think you're having a healthy breakfast, you're so hungry later. However, if in breakfast on day 2, you try, let's say, I'm just gonna make this up. Let's say you have eggs and you have some avocado and you have some berries because they're very low glycemic. You won't be hungry for hours. Makes a huge difference how we balance those foods. So if you don't believe me, you can try that on yourself. You can try that on yourself and you'll see a huge difference. Okay, so why do I share these tips? Why do I share all that? Well, you want to be in an ideal state where you are in control of what's happening with your body. So if you're walking around right now, and I know some of you listening are feeling like this, like you have this story that I just can't lose weight, I'm not focused, I'm low on energy, I'm not in a great mood. Any of you feeling those things? Any of you feeling that? You can tell me if you are. You can say, yes, I am, I'm feeling it. I know that a lot of you are because I get the DMs from you. So if you're walking around feeling that way, like, I just feel this way, then what happens is you start having the story that it's because of your age or your injury or your condition or whatever it is, right? And we tend to have friends and people in media that validate that. So you say to your friend, oh, I feel terrible. I feel bloated. I feel foggy headed. Nothing's working for me. I just feel like I've lost my way. My body's not been what it's used to. You're walking around feeling like that. And you tell that to your friend and your friend says, you're right, it sucks, it's us getting older. Anyone have that friend? I used to have those friends. Anyone have those friends? Like you say, oh, this is what's going on. And they say, well, it just sucks, we're getting older. What that does is that starts to validate our excuses, and that's what keeps us stuck. It's the truth. It's what I call a false assumed truth. It validates it, it keeps us stuck. So there's no possibility of change then. So what I want to get you out of is that victim mentality and instead get you in an empowered state. And we do that by understanding our connection to food, movement, and thoughts. Like all the things that we're taking in, we start to understand. I was on a podcast interview earlier today and we were talking about this very thing and I gave her this analogy that I'm going to share with you. If you walk by a body of water, if you imagine yourself walking by a body of water right now, and this body of water is filthy. Like there's trash in it, there's algae growing, there's all kinds of junk and stuff inside this body of water. And you and I are walking together, and we walk by, and I throw another piece of trash in it. We wouldn't even notice that other piece of trash in it. It just looks like a big dirty body of water, right? However, if we walk by a different body of water and it's beautiful and it's crystal clear and we can see our reflection in it and it's this great, beautiful body of water, and I throw one piece of trash in it, that same piece of trash, it sticks out like a sore thumb and we really notice it and it bothers us. I share that because that's what's happening in our bodies. When we are not eating those unprocessed natural foods, when we're not adding in more of the good, when we're not hydrating and drinking that water, when we are pouring garbage in like artificial sweeteners and lots of processed foods, then we don't even know what's causing our pain, our foggy head, our lack of energy, or our weight gain. We don't even know. But when you can get to that fully balanced state where you are doing all of those things and you are truly clean and thriving, you know exactly what's creating the issues. And that is empowered. That's an empowered feeling. When you live like that, which is exactly how I live and how the clients that I work with live, you're empowered because I know darn well that if tonight I have a pizza with my husband, I know tomorrow when I feel the way that I do, it's related to that. And that doesn't make me feel like I failed or fell backwards. It makes me feel empowered that I know what I need to do now to live my best life and thrive. And that's how I want to get all of you. That's exactly how I want to get all of you. Okay, I know that was a lot of information fast, so I'm going to take any question you have, and while I'm answering questions, I'm going to share what I've got going on Monday for you. So talk to me if you've got questions, and I'm going to look back and forth Instagram and Facebook. Some of you are asking me questions about, yes, Bianca, I love it. Let those friends go. So would sugar-free oatmeal be okay? Great question, Stacy. So oatmeal in itself is fine, but oatmeal is one of those starchy carbs I'm talking about. So when you eat oatmeal, you might notice, even without adding sugar, you will be hungry later. So how do you balance it based on what I'm sharing? Well, we'd want to add some fat and some protein. When you add fat and protein, you are going to slow down that absorption. It doesn't hit your bloodstream as fast. You're not going to have that insulin spike, and it will change things. So oatmeal is not my ideal, but if you are having it, I would go with a small portion of that and then think, what fat can I add to it? Could I add coconut oil? Could I have avocado on the side? Could I mix in some peanut butter? What fat could you add? And then what could you do about protein? Could you have some eggs? Could you have some turkey sausage? What can you do to help change that? So Stacy, that would be the better way. Rather than saying, I'm just not going to add sugar, what can I do to balance that? Does that make sense? Okay, awesome. Let's see. Let me take some more questions here. How much do you suggest per day? Brittany, of what? I just saw that, but I don't know which thing. Okay, Gina asked, what coffee creamer should I ask? Great question, Gina. So for me, I'm a fan of the real unprocessed natural foods in any situation. So for me, if I'm gonna have coffee, I personally would probably do a full fat coconut milk. That's what I do personally. I don't love dairy or grains. I don't love them. I don't tell people to completely take them off limit. I don't love what that does for us as we age. And that's another conversation that I can get into more of on that topic. That's a whole nother conversation. Okay, let's see some more questions here. Let me see. I just want to make sure I'm not missing anything here. Water, yep. Okay, if I missed your question, I just scroll down, copy and paste it again so I can make sure to see all of these questions. I don't want to miss anything here. Let's see. If you work out like spin or running, is oatmeal good to eat after? Possibly, Angelica. So my preference on workouts is that is the one time you want to add protein and carbs before and after, especially when you're in muscle building mode, because your muscle needs protein and carbs to grow and develop. So we want to eat that. That is the only time of day that I don't add fat is pre and post workout, because I want to not slow down the absorption. I want that sugar. I want that protein going right into my muscle. That is the only time I don't do that. How much water recommended per day? Michelle, great question. As much as you can drink, honestly. I do 2 of these minimum a day. You can see how big it is compared to me. Big Vanna here. I drink 2 of these minimum a day. And that's what I suggest for that. So should we use fruits to sweeten things like water? You can absolutely use fruit. I'm a huge fan of fruit, Siobhan. By the way, fruit, it has fructose as sugar, which is different. It's processed different in our body. Fructose is very different than high fructose corn syrup, which is manufactured. They are different things. The fructose from sugar, from fruit, I am fine with. Okay, so let me tell you guys what's going on Monday. And I know some of you on here are in, so I'm gonna share about that. So, this was sort of a fire drill. I know I just fire hosed you with information here. But for those of you that don't know, I've been helping with fat loss clients for, over a decade. And I am masterful at it. I am great at this. I can help all of you get your massive results when you work with me. My clients know I am direct, I am no BS, and I get to the root, and I'm a solution finder. So I hear your excuses, but I'm not gonna coddle them. I help you get to the possibility, because there is no power in excuses. There is no power in victim mentality at all. We all know this. You know I'm right here. There's no power in victim mentality. When you are in victim mentality and you think this is happening to me, this sucks, this is happening, my age, my injury, whatever. When you are in that spot, there is no power in that. It feels good because you're like, this is happening because. And your friends go, you're right, that sucks. Right? But it doesn't help you. How does that change anything? I don't want anyone to tell me you're right, that sucks. It changes nothing. So what I do is I break you through that. I help you with, okay, got it, hear ya. Let's find the solution here, because there is a solution for every single one of you. But here's the thing, you have to want it and believe it first. You have to believe in just the possibility first. If you do not believe in the possibility, then I can't help you, nor can anyone. Because if you're gonna shut it down and say, but I'm different, Natalie. I hear you, but I'm different. My doctor said this, but I have this, but I have this. If that's what you believe, I cannot break you through that. But if you are open to possibility, that's where I am masterful at breaking you through. So all you need is the possibility first. Once you have the possibility, I help you figure out what is it that you actually want and why for yourself, and what's holding you back from getting there. If you are that type of person, if you're like, I am so ready for possibility, Natalie, I hear you, I'm ready, I'm done with saying it's my excuse, my age, my injury, my diagnosis, and I see all the comments coming in. I got it, you've got injuries, you've got type 2 diabetes, I got all of that. I see it. I've helped so many clients with these things. If you are the person that's saying, I am done with excuses, I am all about possibility, new me, I am declaring this is my year, I want you to type the word thrive in the comments. And the reason I want you to type thrive in the comments is for you, and this is not you if you're in if you want to be coddled in victim mentality, this is not for you. But if you're like, I'm ready to take responsibility and own this and break through it, put the word thrive. because I'm going to send you information on what's happening starting Monday, and you're gonna see if you're a candidate. Now, one caveat, if you're on Facebook, it's gonna come through your messenger. If you're on Instagram watching me live right now, the comment thing won't work. So if you're on Instagram here, I want you to send me a DM either right now or when we're done. Send me a direct message saying the word Thrive. If you're on Facebook, put it in the comments here. And I'm going to send you, Flops is excited. Get it, Flops. Flops is like, I'm thriving too. I'm gonna send you what's happening on Monday. But just what's happening Monday is we're starting Total Body Thrive. This is not one of those programs that you just download and print off and do yourself. There's a million fitness, fat loss, nutrition coaches out there giving you download crap. I got it. I have download crap too, but that's not what this is. This is a full program that is a lifestyle plan that's going to change everything for you. This is an epic experience. This is where we level up your life. This is where I bring you to a higher vibration because you're gonna see what is possible for you and you're gonna break through all of these excuses. And I'm gonna help you this entire time through this. So if you're a candidate for this and you can get into Thrive, we start on Monday as a group. And what that looks like is you're gonna have a community of support with a very simple, easy to follow method. Now, if you've done my programs before, like Fat Loss Academy or Full Body Reset, this is going to be even simpler than that. Because what I did is I took the best from those programs, but I eliminated anything that was fluff, any extra, and I created some new information to make this as simple as possible. I want it to be simple and clear for you. I'm going to be not only revamping possibility for you and mindset and all of those things to get you moving in the right direction, but I'm also gonna help you bust through those false assumed truths so they don't come back. I'm gonna help you dial in nutrition in a very simple, easy to follow way that with swap out options, that's easy to build your own meals so you can eat at restaurants, you can eat at friends' houses, you can feed your family on it. Simple, easy, and fun. No fluff, nothing complicated. I'm also gonna have a Facebook group for you for support where all questions are answered. There's not another trainer, coach out there that can tell you that they're gonna answer all questions. All questions are answered. So much so that we even have you fill out an intake form when you join, because I'm gonna be personally looking over all of these intake forms so I know exactly what you've been through and what you're coming into this program with. Okay, and then the best part about this is we've got 8 weeks together. Zoom. For 8 weeks, I'm gonna be doing a live Zoom call with this special group where I go deeper on these topics and I help you with all of the individual help you need on those Zooms, coaching you through this. So failure is not an option in this program. Failure is not an option in this program. So if you're on Facebook right now and you're like, I need more information, put the word Thrive in your comments, you're gonna get a message from me. If you're on Instagram, send me a DM with that. If you're a quick start, like me, I'm like one of those like sense of urgency, go, 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 and you want in now, you're like, I don't even wanna wait for your message, Natalie. I am in, I'm so in, I want my spot. Then I want you to instead go to totalbodythrive.com. If you go to totalbodythrive.com, you'll see all the information there, exactly what this is, and you can say I'm a candidate or I'm not. And if you are, you can still grab your spots. You can grab your spot net. Okay, I'm gonna take questions and I'm also gonna address some of the things that came up specifically about Thrive. Okay, if you're thinking, okay, I just looked, it's not the price I wanna pay. I have a message for you. Okay, this is an investment in yourself. It's an investment in yourself. It's not about an investment in me or my program or my team. This is an investment in you. And when you make an investment in you, you have ownership on things and things change. So instead of making a decision from where you are right now, I want you to think about where you're gonna be in 8 weeks. Because I'll tell you, most of you in 8 weeks, when you start with me, you're gonna be down about 20 pounds at least. And your energy is gonna be up and your focus is gonna be back. And you're gonna feel confident. And that person, what would she have been willing to pay to do this? And I guarantee that person would be willing to pay about 20 times what this cost is. So I want you to come at it from that place when you're looking at it. This is an investment with you. This is an investment for you. Okay, let's see. I see, hi Lisa. Wait, hold on a second. I just lost your comment. Have one help with me. Okay, I got this, but wow. Oh my gosh, I love it, Lisa. Okay, I feel it. Lisa, I didn't mean to put you in tears, but I'm glad. You know what? When you feel emotion like that, it's a sign. It's like, okay, you're speaking to me. I needed to hear this. That's awesome. How many days a week on Zoom? Gina, just one. You'll have all the content to go through at your own time. We release it each week, early in the week. You have the whole week to look at it, take your time on it. And then the Zoom is meant to go a little deeper and answer all questions. If for some reason you can't attend the Zoom that's once a week, we always record it. We give you the replay and we make sure to get questions ahead of time. So no, you won't miss anything there at all. So, okay, let's see, more questions here, more questions. Oh, I'm gonna show you some of the people that have done my method before, by the way. You wanna see? If you were on my live yesterday, you saw some of these. But I gotta show this one, because this was one of my favorite all-time transformations. This is my friend Nicole. When she first started coming into my method, she felt like many of you do, okay? First of all, she's gorgeous, look at her. But she was like, oh, it's my age, it's my hormones, I don't know. I just don't have the focus. I don't have the energy. I'm not motivated. Nothing works for me. That was her. Okay. When she jumped on with me, I had to get her thinking first about vision. I asked her, Nicole, what do you want? And in fact, I remember her, this clear as day, her standing next to me, describing in vivid detail what she wanted. She's like, I want to be in a bikini or a tight fitted red dress and I'm feeling amazing and confident. I got her so clear in her vision. Once we did that, we had to get her thinking about possibility, that it's actually possible for her. Then she changed her thoughts and actions and started moving towards the right things. And let me just show you her now. Look at that. Look at her now. Right? Same person. Unbelievable. But it's true. Anyways, that's what I got. All right, I'm going to keep answering questions if you've got more. Let's see. Thanks, Karen. Hi there. Thanks, Jennifer. I see you. Let's see, any questions? Okay. Oh, Lisa, I love that. Lisa, I get that. Lisa says she doesn't want family and friends to see it. She just wants to do it for herself. And you totally, you know what, ladies, especially ladies watching, 2020 was so rough on all of us. I get it. And so many of us are in that situation where, me included, where like all of a sudden school was closed and you're becoming a homeschool person and your job's changing and it's like you're taking care of everyone but yourself, right? I mean, that is very real coming off of 2020. But here's the thing, we show up better for others when we do put our health and our priority first. When you take some time to get yourself together first, taking care of yourself with your confidence, with your focus, with your energy, with your body, you show up better for everyone. Everyone you show up better for. That's what I want for you. It is not selfish to take care of yourself. It's selfish not to. It's selfish not to. When you do not take care of yourself and you put everyone else first, you come empty and you do not show up as the best possible person for others. So please know that. And please don't forget that. Whether you end up with me on Thrive or doing your own thing, please know that. You show up better for everyone when you take care of yourself. It is not something to feel guilty about. You show up better for everyone. All right, let's see a few more questions. For those of you joining late, definitely make sure you go back and watch from the beginning. Jennifer, when do you see results? You will start feeling better when you work with me within that first week. Feeling a lot better. You might even start noticing things then. What's expected when you work with me is typically, on average, people lose about 5 pounds week 1. And the reason it's 5 pounds week 1 is it's typically about 2 pounds of fat, and then you lose excess water and bloat week 1, which is not a bad thing. It's great. It gives you a win. You start feeling like you're moving in the right direction. It's a win. Then you lose about 2 pounds each week to follow. If you think about that, that is safe, effective, healthy fat loss. And over the course of 8 weeks, you're talking about 20 pounds, okay? That's a great jump start to things. If you follow the method over the year, that's over 100 pounds in a year. It's incredible. So we do it healthy. This is not a fad diet. It's not a crash plan. Are there people that lose more or less? Absolutely. And usually we figure out why. If you've been eating a highly processed diet and you have not been taking care at all of yourself, you're gonna have a bigger jump. If you've been extreme dieting or maybe we've messed up your metabolism a little bit, it might take a little longer to get on track. But the best part is results are guaranteed, meaning I have something called an action takers guarantee, meaning if you do Total Body Thrive and you show up, and I mean like you show up 100%, like you do the program, you're participating in the group, you show up on the live calls. If you do all that and you do not get results, then I don't deserve to get paid. So in that case, you would get your money back if that's what happened. But that's not what's gonna happen because failure is not an option on this. Failure is not an option because we're gonna change everything with you this time. Whew. Okay, let's see. I'll take some final questions. If you've been watching, okay, if you are, this is like intriguing to you and you're like, I'm so wanting more information, I want to know if I'm a candidate, thrive in the comments. Put the word thrive on Facebook. We'll know, it'll trigger a message from me. If you're on Instagram, send me a DM. If you're anxious and you're like, no, I am so in, then go directly to the website, totalbodythrive.com. Let's see, what if you have a weak immune system? Jennifer, you can still do it, and I'll tell you why. It's based on natural, real, unprocessed foods. This is not a supplement thing. This is something you could show your doctor and they'll be on board with. It's real, natural, unprocessed foods. So it can't hurt it. It will support that. It's based on real foods. And I have an autoimmune, by the way. Just so you know, Jennifer, I have an autoimmune myself. So I get that. Let's see. Yes, and Gina, you have a broken toe. I don't know if you know this about me, Gina. I had 3 major injuries last year. They didn't have anything to do with workouts, freak accidents, including a torn bicep and a broken foot last year. So yes. And by the way, workouts are like an extra plus we throw into Thrive as an option. It's not a workout program. So you could even do Thrive without doing the workouts and still get results. The workouts are like an added thing that we give you as a bonus. So there's body weight workouts you could do. Do you take collagen? Yes, I do, Brianna. I do. I take Isagenix collagen shots. They just came out with them. They are epic. They're 10 times stronger than other collagen on the market. That's what I use. And if you DM us that, I'm happy to send you a link for where to get those as well. Let's see. All right, let's see. Stephanie. Stephanie, message us about that because it's harder for us to do it from here. But if you message us, yes, if you are an alumni of either Fat Loss Academy or Full Body Reset, we always do alumni discount. So message my support team and we will help you with that. Edna, I'm not low carb, it's just different types of carb, Edna. So I'm a huge fan of vegetables and fruits and then a small amount of starchy carbs. Just a small amount of them. All right. That was a lot of information. If I missed anything you want to know, please ask in the comments. If you want more information on Thrive, put the word Thrive. Let's see. I want to feel, oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. Let's see. Hi, Lisa. I watched you and no, it's not, I'm not failing. I'm regrouping. I love it. Yes, you are regrouping. You're strong. I love it. Oh, amazing. Okay, Lisa, that's an example of being amazing right now. I love that you're speaking in a possibility, Lisa. Good job. Lisa wrote that she needs guidance and I totally went natural. Now I want to work out. She says, I want to feel like a queen. I'm going to happen. I'm strong. I'm awesome. I love all that talk. Those affirmations are amazing and that shows me that you want possibility and that's amazing. Does it matter if you're a woman of color? Absolutely not, Siobhan. I've helped women of color many times. That does not make a difference on this. Absolutely. Everybody is welcome and I can help with this. You have high blood pressure, you can still participate, Irene. Your doctor would approve of what I'm sharing. It's unprocessed, natural, real foods that I teach and a lot of mindset. The workouts are optional and they're body weight. They're not high impact, high intensity. So this should not make any issue with high blood pressure. If anything, it could help that. So, and I'm not a doctor. You want to check with your doctor, but I've never had a doctor look at my meal plans and say no. They're healthy. You can ask anyone that's done my plans. I base it on real natural food. We're not low calorie. Everything is based on real natural food. Doctors approve this. Okay, all right. Oh, a lot of women asking if I'm under 40, can I do it? Yes, you can. The reason I said 40s, 50s, and beyond is I'm 49. So because I'm personally 49, I tend to attract a lot of women in their 40s and 50s. But I can also help you any age. So yes, no matter what your age, you can do this. What is collagen for? Letty, great question. Collagen is great for skin. It's great for skin, gut health, and for injury healing. So collagen and also nails and hair. I've been using collagen for years. I just switched to the Isogenics one because that was the one thing they didn't have, and they have it now. And I love Isogenics products. So I use supplements in addition to teaching healthy eating and movement. I do supplements in addition. And in my program, I teach about that because supplements are secondary. I start everyone with proper eating, movement, hydration. And if you want to add supplements, I'm happy to share what I use. All right, I love it. Hi, Brianna. She says, I've been following you for a few years and I'm 25. It's great. It's awesome. Jennifer, it's like a little drink thing that I take. I'll show you. Hold on. Let me grab them. I just got them. Hold on. These are cool. So I was taking powder collagen or eating it from bone broth. But look, it's these cute little shots. And they taste, I told my husband they taste like purple. They taste like grape. But these just came. And I'll share all that stuff. If you message me, I'm happy to give you that link on that as well. But remember, that stuff's in addition to what I teach on things like Thrive. All right, everyone. They taste good, Jennifer. They do. Thanks for joining me tonight. If you have any questions at all, feel free to message us. Remember, Thrive in the comments on Facebook. We send you information on it. Instagram, DM me. Any questions we didn't answer, you can send us a message through my website or Facebook or DM on Instagram, and we promise to get back to you. Bye, everyone.